Hey everybody, it's Joey, Valley TCG. Hope everyone is having a good day, a good week. Today we are going to be talking about my favorite topic, and I think some of y'all's favorite topic as well, which is booster box prices. So welcome back to another midweek card price slash booster box price update video. Before I go and do that and talk about that, a couple of things. First, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, especially subscribing, that would be very, very helpful for me. And I do appreciate everybody's support. And second thing is, as promised, we are going to be announcing the winners of my first anniversary of the Valley TCG channel. I'm doing the giveaway, giving two sets of a ST13, one of the premium card collections from the Bandai Card Fest, the 2022 or 2023-2024 edition, and a nice pack of sleeves. I'm giving away two sets of that to two lucky subscribers, and those two lucky subscribers are Cesar Forsons 1415 and the Reliable Sidekick. So congratulations, you guys. Thank y'all for your comment and for watching the video. All right, let's move on. Oh, actually, before I move on, to the winners, just send me an email, valleytcg4@gmail.com, and then we'll sort out a way to get these items to you. All right, now let's actually move on. So first and foremost, we've talked about this, right? This is a booster box that's already getting to about $400 a box. Let me see if there's any consistent, I guess this is not trying to show me any consistent sell-through here. And, well, that's not good. But I do think that there is some consistent sell-through, but we can look at the date, at least at the very least. So 3 to 4 sales today. After this, it really the inventory gets pretty light, right? And then in just a few more booster boxes, this is going to be up to $500 a booster box. I think OP01, more than any other set in One Piece, is the one to buy to add to your collection. If you're thinking about, should I buy one of these? Should I buy, I don't know, one of the other booster boxes? This is it. Unless they do just another reprint, which seems increasingly unlikely that they would do that. We're seeing this acceleration and honestly well deserved acceleration. I think the cards in here are iconic. The original Nami card, the alternate art, and then you have obviously the Shanks manga, and then Dofi, which has been getting a lot of play right now, even in 10. So I would say that would be the only risk that we might see in reprint, in that Bandai might just be like, oh, well, everyone's playing Dofi decks, let me just go reprint OP10. Although I think, frankly, it's much easier for them to just reprint the leader itself rather than the entire booster box. So that said, I do think OP01 Classic, definitely something that people should look to add to their collection, even around this price. The second one is Paramount War OP02. OP02 has gone through so much volatility. I don't know if you guys remember this, or if you were part of the hobby at that point, but this used to be like a $300 to $400 booster box on a consistent basis. Yeah, look at this. Even early parts of this year, This was a $400 booster box, and as soon as the reprint hit, prices just cratered and has stayed pretty weak as of even today, right? Um, Prices are weak because of that reprint, and really there's just not that much playability in Paramount War anymore, and it's not as iconic as '01. So obviously you have some cool leaders, cool looking leaders in here, and obviously beautiful alternate arts. But ever since Borsellino, this used to be over $100, by the way, guys, and the uh, the SR itself, the non-alternate art version, used to be a $50 card. So ever since that kind of faded away, we just really haven't seen a lot of usage of this deck. I think we're pretty much to the level where we've power crept this deck out of the rotation, or this set out of the rotation. I don't know if we're gonna go back. Maybe, maybe not. Probably more than likely not. And with that said, $150, $160, pretty reasonable price. I don't think, it might go even lower. I mean, this trend from 160 since the reprint all the way till prices of 155, $160 today. I mean, very consistent. Might go lower, probably not. I would say, just because it has held that price at around 160 for quite some time now. Yeah, if you want to keep one of these for your collection, this is a fair price to pay. Pillars of Strength, OPO3. This deck, or I keep saying deck, but this set, booster box, um, this is one of those where prices made very little sense outside of playability, right? Outside of category, in some of the SRs in here, there just there really was not a lot of reason why you should want to buy this booster box. And ever since we saw category reprinted, and then some of the other cards being phased out, this is no longer an in-demand set. And I'm actually kind of worried that it's going to go below this $150. I think there's still some available. If you go to Bandai stores from time to time when they do those restocks, or when they go to like, Card Party and some of these big events, they do bring some of these booster boxes with them, the Bandai representatives, I mean, and they do sell these. So maybe even less reason to like invest into this set, if you will. Yeah, I do think that, yeah, obviously Nami, I was going to say Nami is a beautiful card. And category, the alt, it's still pretty, or the alternate art leader is still pretty expensive. We have seen some yellow being rotated back, so maybe that's juicing the price, but largely pretty top heavy set. Really not that many cards in here that totally stand out. And as a result, and especially since this has the Soge King manga, which is always, unfortunately, the least in demand manga art. And as a result, yeah, I don't think we're going to see prices go too crazy. I'm glad I was able to sell a number of these when this was around 200 plus. Yeah, 150, pretty reasonable. Maybe it might go down a little bit more. And then OPO4, I would say everyone's first unloved set. This was a pretty weak set in the grand scheme of the meta. And just as a result, the history, I mean, yeah, the prices have come down from 200 to about 140 bucks, 145. Well, I guess this one's 160. Yeah, all right, 160 now, but it's never really popped above that 200 mark, and it's come down, even though this one did not see a meaningful reprint, right? This was well supplied in the beginning, and it has not even seen a reprint. in any real size. And as a result, um, or even as that being the case, I should say, prices are still relatively low and coming down. So yeah, 145 to 160, reasonable. Do not think they're going to reprint this for a couple of reasons, but mainly because outside of this card right here, the Boa Hancock, there's no real chase in here for you. Sabo is also kind of an unloved card, if you will. Um, and outside of that, yeah, there's just not that much here. And then Awakening of the New Era, $182, totally reasonable. And some of that price action has been as a result of recent price moves within the last month, right? Within the last kind of Christmas season, this is always one to have for your collection. I think most of you guys probably already have one of these out there, right? Within your collection just because they printed so many of these. I mean, this was not a low print. And they've done multiple waves, and it was available at every single event that Bandai's hosted. They just brought boxes on boxes because this was a super hot product. And even with that being the case, the prices are recovering. That bodes well for the future of OP05. Of course, there's going to be people that are looking to chase for the $2,000 card. If you saw my opening video a few videos ago, you know that this could be a brutal, brutal set to open. I think I got like $8 of value back from a $180 booster box. So I would say, oh, and of course the the gold stamped signature card. I think this is a much better and more collectible and potentially, long term, a more valuable card than a lot of the mangas. Maybe outside of Gear 5 Luffy, but there's a reason why prices have stayed so high at, let's see, yeah, $1,400. $1,300 for a near mint foil. Core TCG selling one for $1,400. This is an iconic card. Might be one of the ultimate chases if we look like 3 years down the line. And the reason for that is because there's going to be in manga art for every single set that comes out, but there's only one Oda signature card. For now, there might be another one later. That's possible. But for now, this is going to be an absolutely amazing, amazing card to keep Grail for your collection. And as a result, I think it's going to keep OP05 booster boxes quite high. And then OP06, this is the one when it dropped down to like, what was it, like $80 a booster box, $75 a booster box. I was kind of pounding my table um, just to say, like, I think this was very underpriced at $80, $75, even $90 a booster box. And accordingly, we've seen a decent price acceleration in this set ever since that reprint, right? Yeah, so around this time was when I was just like, this is too cheap. You guys should go buy some. And it's moved up and it's held at that $120 mark. I do think this is still going to keep going up. People absolutely love Roronoa Zoro. And some of the other cards in here are decent. I think the SPs in here are beautiful. So the SP Rebecca is an absolutely awesome card. And then Gecko Moria right now is still very playable. So I think people are going to be opening more and more of these booster boxes. We'll see if they reprint this, right? I mean, at this price, it almost doesn't make sense for Bandai to reprint OP06. What are they going to, reprint into, right? A market that's going to, instead of buy 122, buy 90 again? We'll see. I find that hard to believe that they will do another mega size reprint that will truly impact prices for OP06. So I do think 120 bucks, pretty good still. Now, this is kind of like a red herring, right? This is almost like a misdirection. If you just looked at EB01 prices, you might just be like, oh my gosh, One Piece is back. And look at this. Look at this price acceleration. I mean, ever since, this is pre-sale. So it's released and then it had a little bit of dip to about 115 bucks, $116. And ever since then, it's been on a rocket ship. Now it's $250 a booster box. After that, right? It's 270, 275. And I think at 275, that you guys should consider selling this. I mean, this is crazy, right? And the reasons are pretty obvious. It's because there's just so many playable cards in this set. I don't think this set is super, super collectible per se. It's not like you're chasing a bunch of cards in here. You know, the manga chopper is all right. But the reason why prices are so high is because every single card in here is so, so, so playable. All right, not every single card, but so many cards are. Laboon, Brook, Cavendish, Laboon Alt, Shirahoshi, Mr. 2, the non-alternate art version, and alternate art version. I mean, everything here is just pretty collectible. And this was a set or sorry, very playable. And this was a set that was playable from day one. And you have rares going for $5, right? Still, flambe, finger pistol, $6. And we haven't really even seen a reprint for this set. That's the other crazy thing. We've not seen a reprint for EB01. That to me is crazy. I thought they would have done one by now. Usually they do one maybe like 3-4 months after the initial release. So we're way beyond that. And that's probably why, especially around this time period when everyone's like, oh, maybe they're not reprinting. And then more and more cards became playable, became a part of the rotation that we just saw this acceleration because people just want to rip this product. I kind of want to rip this product. I have a bunch of these sitting around, right? Just because the cards in them are so freaking valuable. So it's really brought down the population, and as a result, almost I would say well deserved for prices to be at 250 today. And yeah, let's see, 4 sales today at $250, and before that, plenty of sales at 280. Yeah, so after this we have OP07, 500 years in the future. 500 years in the future, I do wonder what we'll be doing as a species. Hopefully we'll be uploaded into the metaverse and we're still playing One Piece, hopefully at that point. That'll be a lot of fun. It might not even have to work. Anyway, so 125 bucks. Well, most of his inventory is from Devastation. He always has a ton of products, and he's pretty cutthroat in the prices that he sells at. I think this is a very reasonable price. If a reprint hits, price is going to go much lower. If we look at cards to chase, yeah, Boa, that's a chase card. I don't think it's a very good looking chase card, to be fair. But the Onami, everyone wants this one. Or not everybody, but a lot of people want this one, especially if you're a Nami collector. This is a awesome, like 10 out of 10 card. Boa Hancock is starting to get some play. So in Japan, Boa was able to win, I believe, at least a couple of tournaments. So with OP10 being the meta over there because they are 3 months ahead of us. So that being the case, there's a couple cards in here that people are, it's pretty interesting, right? For collection wise, maybe. I think some of the SPs in here are probably your best bet. But outside of that, for playability, it's really just Boa. It's, I mean, Lucci's always kind of dominant, in and out of that dominance. But and then you have this Porcus D Ace at $32. And then let's keep going. Let's see if there's anything else in here that's driving prices higher. I don't see really. Oh, Sanji, $11. That's the most expensive SR. And then Jinbei, Monkey D. Luffy, Monkey D. Dragon. Okay, yeah. So there are a number of cards in here that are pretty valuable. All playable. All four of these cards are playable. So as a result, not too surprisingly, people are opening up these boxes um, to either have fun with the opening process or to chase these cards to add to the collection or to sell or whatnot. So definitely a lot of value here. So 125 bucks. That's a pretty good price. We'll see if they reprint this. I've been asking some LGSs if they were going to reprint this, and no one's really heard of anything, which is kind of weird. We used to have, or at least they used to have access to these roadmaps that, let's say, a major distributor, right, Alliance or whatnot will have. And we haven't seen that in quite some time, and they haven't seen that in quite some time. So, we'll see if they do another big reprint here. If you guys remember, I mean, these booster boxes for 500 years in the future, they were down to like $80 very recently. Yeah, so let's take a look. Yeah, so okay, so they were down to $80, okay, 3 months ago. So maybe not as recent as I thought in my mind, but still pretty recent. And they hovered there. I think maybe that was the difference, right? They hovered there for about a month, um, almost 2 months, month and a half. Yeah, about a month and a half. Before going up to $90, and then it went up to 100. Now we're at 120. So yeah, decent price. Decent price to own, decent price to rip, decent price to sell at even. Um, so that's kind of unique, especially if you bought a bunch back at 80, 85. You're not going to be crying about selling this for 125 bucks. I'm just saying. Two Legends booster box, complete, not good. I was gonna say a worse word than that, but just completely not a great set. Core TCGs out here selling 91 of these booster boxes. If you guys don't know, Core TCG is a very large LGS, and they used to. I mean, their volume was crazy on One Piece, and they were selling some of these boxes for crazy amounts of money, right? Right at the peak of One Piece, when people were not part of Pokemon, they were just in One Piece. Uh, Core TCG, I mean, they had pre-order cases for like 2,200 bucks. Like, it was nuts, right? And now, they probably tend to hold, just like, LGSs tend to do, they tend to hold some cases back, and now they can't sell them. They can't sell them because they held back too many. So now they're dumping $91. They probably have some I guess fees to pay, or this new wave of inventory to pay for. So they're almost selling it at cost, because their cost should be like $60 a booster box. So if you think about shipping plus fees on TCG Player, which is about 13% lower for LGSs, so maybe like at 10% or 8%, something like that. And like they're pretty much break even on this box as they're trying to sell this. So if you guys want to buy, I do think this is probably one of the last kind of chances to buy OP08 once this wave of inventory is done for, right? Once devastation, once again, 122 booster boxes. Once this wave is kind of over with, then and maybe we have some new players entering into One Piece. at that point, it tends to burn down some of the inventory, and prices do come up. So, if you don't have one of these for your collection, definitely add one now. $75, $80. That's not too crazy. That's a really good price. PRBO1. So I might need to do my tier list for booster boxes again. Maybe once 10 and EBO2 comes out, I'll update that tier list. But I would say, so I had this instead of S tier, I had this in A tier. I would move this up to S tier now, mainly because One Piece has not had a peep about reprinting this. And if they don't reprint this, well, the the expected value when you rip open a box might be very, very high. Just look at the card. I mean, ignore some of this, right? Because these are God box or God pack cards, mangas. But ignoring that, just the gold cards alone gold dons alone are just going crazy. Yeah, is this lowest? $335, right? Remember when I had this up and I was just like, hey guys, like at 250 or 230, like I think this could go up even more. Now we're at 335, another $100. A buddy of mine just ripped one of these. What a hit, right? So many gold-ons in here, like 30 gold-ons I was told, and the rest of the cards are also really, really collectible. If you haven't looked at this one, the one-legged alternate art, one-leg soldier alternate art, look at this. So $81 for this card. Freaking nuts. There's just so many cards that are rotating into the meta. And as they're rotating into the meta, some of these cards just explode in price, right? Gum Gum Red Rock, $50 for this alternate art. So if you were able to buy these for like 100, $120, congratulations. If you were able to buy them for $150, I would keep this. You know, maybe we'll see a reprint. I don't know. But it's just the collectability of the cards that you open in here it's very, very good for box prices in the long term. So that's why box prices are $183. That's not even that crazy. I think it was Smoke and Mirrors that had a restock of these, and they sold out like instantly. They had a limit of 4, and they sold out instantly on these things. It was kind of nuts. Um, yeah. All right. Moving on. Last one. We are getting a little bit long in the video. So last one. Devastation again. 51 of these booster boxes. 133. So the reprint is coming out. It's coming out as we speak. I'm not surprised that prices are holding strong at 130-ish, but I do think that they'll still probably come back down as that reprint continues to proliferate, right? So as a result of that reprint, we're probably going to see prices come down a little bit. What is happening with TCG players? This is just so weird. Yeah, sometimes it's giving me prices, sometimes it's not. Anyways, yeah, current quantity 464, 50 sellers. Yeah, that's a lot of quantity. And frankly, I think, if Devastation's listing, he knows that that reprint is coming and there's going to be a lot more inventory coming online. I probably would wait. I wouldn't, freak buy at 130 something. I'd wait until this is like 115, like 110, before I buy a little bit more. That's just my own opinion. I do think that this set long term will be able to hold its value. There's just so many good cards in here, whether it's the manga, whether it's the beautiful Nami SP, whether it's the Monkey D. Luffy wanted poster. I had a comment on this. I should have mentioned that the SP or the wanted posters takes a SP slot. So in a case generally you're supposed to get only like a few of these SP cards. So with that being the case, there's a lot of reasonable um, logic for why some of these SPs are so expensive. And the wanted cards, I think, are just super cool. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my video. Hope you guys are having a good week. Might have another just quick video, another kind of price update on some of the individual cards that are moving up. Um, Maybe later this week. We do have a lot of fun football that's happening this week that I do want to catch. And unfortunately, I make my videos at night. So it tends to mean that if there's football going on, I wouldn't be able to make a video and vice versa. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Especially subscribing helps me out a lot. I know a lot of you guys do watch the videos and haven't subscribed, so please click that subscribe button. Anyways, thank you guys. Congratulations again to these two winners. We will we'll talk soon. All right, folks. I will see you guys next time.